guys, hope you're well and welcome back to my channel. For any of you guys that are new around here, my name is Ellis and I am a mummy of two boys. I have my eldest son Klayton, who is a cheeky little monster. He has not long turned 3, and I also have my adorable angel baby Parker, who will soon be 8 months. Now, if you've clicked on this button, I am assuming you are somewhat interested in products to help a 3 to 6 month old child. Now, I am a mummy for the second time, and I remember the first and the second time being daunted by what I could do to entertain my 3-month-old or my 4 and 5 and 6 month old. And I remember sitting there thinking, okay, he no longer sleeps in the day, he needs some form of entertainment. However, he's also been very slow when it comes to Klayton. So Klayton picked a lot of things up a lot faster. He was crawling quicker, sitting up quicker, rolling over quicker. He had his hand-eye coordination down quicker. And for Parker, it's been very different. So some of these things, and a lot of these things I did use with Klayton. Some of these things I've used longer with Parker, but I completely forgot some of them. And so some of them I've kind of whacked out. And I feel like when you're a first time mum, even though you don't know what you should have, you're a lot more prepared. Whereas second time round, you've done it before. I've kept a lot of the products because I knew that I would have more children, but I just kind of haven't really thought about it. And then it's only when I sit down and I think about it that I think, actually, yeah, do you know what? He can have that product now because he's this age. So I'm going to share with you a few of the products that have really helped me and Parker, and I use them with Klayton, but have really helped me and Parker this time round when it comes to toys and entertainment, and just must-have items that I would recommend for a 3 to 6 month old baby that will really help you. So the first item is probably one that you are all completely aware of, but if you are not, then I have used it twice round. I kept the same item, and it is a jumperoo. Now we have the, I think it's the Fisher-Price Rainforest jumperoo. I'm not sure if they've changed them or updated them. This was one of the very first ones that I saw ever come out, and I had it with Klayton when he turned around 4 months, I think it was 4 or 5 months. It was as soon as he had the ability to hold himself and his head up that we started using it with him. And to start with, we put a little cushion underneath his feet so he could bounce on it, and he never really got the bouncing down straight away. And it was the same with Parker. We used it, I didn't even realise, but it was to the exact same day and amount of time. So I think it was 5 months. We used exactly the same amount of time between Klayton, when we used it with Klayton as we did with Parker. And Parker absolutely loves it. To start with, he would literally just bounce from side to side, and now he's got the jumping down, he can turn himself around in it, and yeah, he loves it. It has music, it has lights, it has lots of different features, from things that he can spin to pull, that flip backwards. He loves looking at the little animals, but I think it's a parrot and a blue parakeet type bird, and they hang over the top, and he loves trying to bounce to catch them, and he absolutely loves it. He has loved it from the moment we popped him in it, and he would just obviously keep himself active in it and kind of hobble from side to side. And I also find that it's a really good kind of energy burner for him as well. So if I think that he's got a little bit too much energy before bed, then I will pop it in him, and it just kind of tires him out that little bit more to kind of get him to sleep nicely before we kind of go and do our bedtime, bath time routine. So I would definitely 100% recommend one of those. I got one of those purely because with Klayton, in the house that we lived in, we had no proper door frames, so I couldn't actually clip anything onto a door frame as such. They were really odd and weird. And we also, where we had our door frame, the only one that would be suitable had a baby gate on it, so it just wasn't possible. And I would 100% recommend it. They are definitely worth the investment, and you can also get them second hand. So I would 100% recommend that if you've got a baby that's between 3 and 6 months, that would be the prime time to start using them. But like I said, I started around the 5 months age, and he's still using it now. He's almost 8 months, so definitely recommend a jumperoo. Now, the next thing on my list is more to do with sleeping, and it for me has been an absolute must-have item with both the boys. I used to be a terrible worrier, really anxious over the fact that I thought that Klayton might stop breathing in the night, and although I've been a lot calmer this time round, a sleeping bag has been such a help to me. So for any of you again that don't know what a sleeping bag is, and you can use them before the age of 3 to 6 months, we started using them as soon as our babies turn from £8, so we don't generally have to wait very long because I have £7 babies, so normally within a week or 2 they can start using them. But that's normally when you find they become a lot more active and start kicking off their covers, and we use a sleeping bag primarily for that. Both my boys have been the type of kids that literally kick off all their blankets and duvets, no matter how much you tuck them in under the bottom. Even now, I will get Klayton's big duvet and tuck it all the way around the bottom, And I wish they did sleeping bags for 4-year-olds because, or 3-year-olds, but he would need like an age 4 to 5 because he's quite big. But yeah, I do them primarily for the fact that it stops me being so anxious, because I know they're warm, I know they're kept in the right heat, because obviously they have different tog settings. I know they're not going to kick them off, so I know they're going to stay that temperature the majority of the night, and it stops me having the worry that they're going to pull it up over their face. And I always found as well that when they knock the blankets off, that would also wake them in turn and disturb their sleep, because they would be getting hot and cold. So I would definitely recommend a sleeping bag. We had a lot of the Grow Company ones with Klayton, and to be honest with you, we also, as he got older, we purchased a lot more from Sainsbury's and TK Maxx and Asda and anywhere you may go. And to be honest with you, I have no issues with any of them. Just look for one that has a zip around that can go around the bottom. For me, that was a must-have, because when I'm changing their bottoms of a night, I can quickly do it and I haven't got to completely take them out of it, which was one of my issues with one of the Grow ones that I had. But one of the Grow ones that I had was a travel one as well, so it was really good if you had them in a car seat and things like that. So there's lots of different ones that you can get that will suit your needs, but I would 100% recommend a sleeping bag. So I do have a combination of practical uses and obviously toy elements and things like that. So the next one that I'm talking to you about is a pillow for them to sit on, and a multi-purpose pillow is that. So I don't know what they're really called, and I'll obviously insert some clips so you can see them. But I had this one with Klayton, and I think I may need a new one because the middle part of it is kind of squashed down, so it's not really helping Parker. But I use it for multiple purposes. So when he was little, I used it to sit him up slightly so I could rest his head on it, and it would give him a slight bit of a view, because obviously otherwise he'd be quite flat. So it would just kind of angle him up. I think they're called boppy pillows or something like that, but they all have different names. Then with Klayton, I used it to help him sit up, but like I said, that's not really helping Parker at the moment because it's damaged in the middle and it's gone quite flat. But it would just curve around him and give him the support that he needed so he didn't fall backwards. With Parker, the primary use for it that I have used it for this time round has been to help him feed himself. So basically, we are always quite keen to get him to start feeding himself and get that hand-eye coordination going. And obviously it just kind of frees up a little bit more time for me when I'm at home. So what I would do is I would prop him up on the pillow as if I was lying him on it, and then I would also put another pillow underneath, and I would give him his bottle, and it would prop the bottle up. And likewise, we start to use the handles for bottles. So we had them with the Tummy Tippy bottles, and Mam do them as well, which are the bottles we're using this time round. But I think Mam using the handles are a massive, massive, massive thing that really, really help babies with their hand-eye coordination. Klayton, Parker is still struggling a bit with that at the moment, and he can grasp things, he can grab things, he can coordinate holding his bottle or nose to go forwards to them, but at the moment he seems to be struggling with some other elements, which I'm going to go into in his update video. However, he has massively come on leaps and bounds. He at first really needed help and support to hold up the bottle, which is why we had the pillow underneath, and now he can just feed himself with the bottle, holding onto it, sometimes one-handed as well, which obviously massively saves us some time when we don't have the time to feed him. We can pop him down and he can drink his bottle himself. And in turn, I feel that's going to help him when it comes to feeding himself with a spoon and things like that later down the line. So I definitely recommend picking up some handles for your baby's bottle just to kind of get them helping themselves, and also one of those pillows because it can be multi-purpose, and if you are breastfeeding, it can also be used to prop around your tummy so that obviously you can rest the baby on the pillow as well. So they're definitely dual purpose, and again, they don't have to cost a lot. I bought mine 3 and a bit years ago now, and I think it cost something like £15–20, so you don't have to go out and buy expensive ones. That one was perfect for what we needed. Now my next thing has been a must-have 2 times over. I had one with Klayton and I purchased another one with Parker because Klayton's one got so grubby, but it is Sophie the giraffe. For any of you that don't know who or what Sophie the giraffe is, she is the cutest little squeaky toy. She is rubber, she's a teething toy primarily, but she does have other toys now that are similar, so baby versions and ones that you can hold on to, and she squeaks and she's rubber and she's really, really good for teething babies. We, like I said, used Klayton's one so much, and we bought Parker one, and Parker absolutely loves it. He loves the squeak primarily, that's the thing that he loves the most, but he's also really recently loved gnawing down on it whilst he's been teething. So I would definitely recommend Sophie the giraffe. You can pick them up anywhere and everywhere. They have really cute, adorable newborn kind of gift set options and smaller options as well. So yeah, I would definitely recommend picking up a Sophie the giraffe for your baby. Moving on to another practical item, the next thing that we have is a sit-up bath seat, and we have the Angel Care sit-up bath seat. Now again, I have used Angel Care twice over. I remember when I was first having Klayton and when I was pregnant with Klayton, they had just released the Angel Care bath seat. So it was literally a seat that the baby lay in, and if you've seen my newborn must have video, which I will link below, you will have seen that I included that in the video, because for me, I have purchased a new one twice over now. I had a blue one with Klayton, and then they had just released a limited edition grey one, which I purchased for Parker, obviously, and I absolutely loved it so much. I would highly recommend it. However, when we moved into our house, so July, August, September, when Parker was around 3 months, he really started to all of a sudden just dislike baths, and I couldn't quite figure out why. And I then bought him this seat when he was around 5 months, and so we had 2 months of turmoil bath times, and it was horrid. And so we had to really reduce his bath times down to once a week, maybe twice a week if he was really dirty, and obviously just top and tailing in the other times because he hated them. But then as soon as I got him in a sit-up seat, he was absolutely amazing. So last time round I used, I think it was a Safety First one. This time round I've used Angel Care, and I am loving the Angel Care one. It has a silicone format base like the Angel Care baby support bath support. So the silicone allows him not to slide, which was one of my issues with the baby, the first, I can't remember what I just said, they were called Safety First baby ones, because they were a slippery plastic. I remember Klayton used to slide all over and bump his head where he was wet, and he was just gauging the ability to be able to sit up, whereas Parker can't yet sit up properly by himself. So obviously that silicone just kind of keeps him in a really nice place, and we've had no accidents whatsoever with him knocking his head or sliding anywhere, which I absolutely love. Again, it grips into the bath. It's grey, which is a massive contender for me, and it's not long been on the market, I don't think. I think I may have remembered seeing it last year or the year before, but obviously we was already past the point of needing to use it. But I would 100% recommend this bath support. I could not recommend it enough, and it has definitely been my favourite. Being a second time mum, this has by far been one of my favourite products. So moving on to another entertainment toy purpose, I would 100% recommend a playmat. I purchased one playmat with Klayton, and it was useless. It was just a general one from Mother Care, but it didn't really have much going on. It was cushioned and soft, so it was good when he was really, really little. But when he got older, for this age range of 3 to 6 months, it just became really no good. There wasn't enough on it, and he'd just kind of roll away from it, and he wouldn't be that interested. However, I then went out and purchased with Klayton another one, and it's a piano one. Again, I'm pretty sure it's by Fisher-Price, and it has been absolutely amazing. Again, it's lasted the test of time, like the Fisher-Price Rainforest Jumperoo, and this is their rainforest style piano playmat, and it is amazing. You quite literally pop your baby on. It has toys that dangle down that they can play with. It has a mirror in the middle so they can see themselves, which a lot of babies love to do, and it has piano and music at the bottom, so when they kick their feet, they literally can hear the music playing, and it kind of gives them some incentive to keep moving. Parker has absolutely loved this, and I remember Klayton loving it too, and so I would 100% recommend that if you're looking for a playmat. It's small, it folds up really well, it's not humongous like a lot of them are, and it is really, really good. And I have not seen another playmat that in my opinion beats the one that he's now got. So moving on to my next 3 to 6 month must-have recommended item that I would recommend that you have, I would recommend a car mirror. For me, I am a very anxious person, and I have been doing a lot of long drives this time round because we have moved, so we are always down visiting family who live now about 4 hours away from us. And for me, I'm so anxious. As soon as I hear a cough or a splutter, I basically think my baby's choking on something. I don't know what, there's nothing there, and I know I'm being silly. But for me, it's all about the precaution and being able to see what's going on. So a car mirror massively helps me. You literally attach it to the back of your baby's chair where they're sitting, because obviously they're rearward facing at this point, and you literally pop it on, and then you can either view from your rear view mirror, or sometimes obviously just take a look when I've stopped at some lights, but generally it's my rear view mirror. I can see in, and I can see the reflection of him in the mirror, which points down onto him. So it's really, really easy to see him then. I'm able to see what's going on. If he is coughing, I can see whether it's just a cough, whether he's okay, whether I may need to pull over. I absolutely love having a car mirror. So I would 100%, if you are like that, or you want just that extra bit of reassurance when you are driving, and you do a lot of driving, and you don't want to bring your baby into the front seat, I would 100% picking up a car mirror for yourself. The next item that I have is a very, very firm favourite in this household, and it is an IKEA high chair. Now, I didn't have an IKEA high chair with Klayton when he was very, very little. I had a different high chair, and it was a big one, and I loved it. It was cushioned, it had a big tray on it. It was a removable tray, so I could clean it really easily. Like the top part, it folded down. It had different kind of recline levels as well, which meant a lot of the time Klayton would go to sleep in it, and it meant that he could kind of see what was going on because I could recline it for when he was smaller. He could also drink his bottle in it because it did recline. However, it was really big. It got in the way quite a bit. It was also very bright in colour, and that's just not what I'm into. So when Klayton got to, I don't know how old he was actually, but we purchased another one and gave that one to my parents because he was always around there during the week, and we purchased the IKEA high chair. Now for me, this is a massive firm favourite in my household now. I actually haven't bought a new high chair this time around for Parker, and I've just allowed him to use Klayton's one, and I've literally just gone out and purchased a new tray. The price you cannot fault. I think it's like £15 for the whole high chair. You can get high chair inserts. We used one with Klayton because he was over the age. It didn't last. We only used it for like a day or two, and then he didn't actually need it. I think it is for more than newborns. We didn't actually have it for Parker when he was very little because they were out of stock, because IKEA are in the process of changing their IKEA high chair inserts. However, I would 100% recommend it. It is £15. It is easily wipeable and cleanable. It's easy to replace certain parts of it if it does get damaged or broken, and the legs can come right off of it, and it can fold right down into a tiny, tiny, tiny little thing. So when you are traveling, it is super easy to chuck in the car and bring with you as well, which I absolutely love. So if you're looking for a high chair, yes, there are fancy ones out there. Some of them cost a fortune, and some of them would look amazing in your home. I remember wanting the egg-shaped one, but for me, I don't have the space for those, so getting an IKEA high chair is the most practical and price affordable piece that I would recommend. Now, I know a lot of people don't recommend these, but for me, another must-have item, especially when they're 3 to 6 months, is a dummy clip. Now, I always have personalised dummy clips, and I've had them for both the boys, and they are just adorable. I have crocheted ones with like crocheted balls and their names on, and they're personalised, and I absolutely love them. Quite literally, I use the mam dummies, have always used the mam dummies, and I find that they work really, really well for us. But you quite literally get a dummy clip and you attach the dummy to it, and the clip you can then clip onto something. So I always make sure that when I'm clipping them onto my child, they are clipped either lower down on their body or to a car seat lower down, purely because I worry about the length of them and the strangling. And I know they are made within certain regulations, so that's not possible, but there's always that fear factor for me there. But quite literally, it has their name on, you clip the dummy on, and it just stops the dummies from dropping and getting lost. I lost so many dummies with Klayton before I got a dummy clip, and they would just go missing wherever I went. As soon as I picked him up in the car seat, or he would drop it in his car seat or on his jumperoo, or if we were out, it would just get lost. So having a dummy clip enables me to never lose it, because it's clipped to whatever it may be, whether it's Parker or whether it's the car seat or a pram or wherever it may be, or even if it's not clipped to him, if it's just popped in the bottom of the pram as well, it enables me to grab it quickly, or if it's chucked in my bag, I can grab it out quickly and I won't lose it, which I absolutely love. And so I would definitely recommend that you guys can do that and use that too. There are a few websites, a few different websites I've got them from. There is a lovely lady called, I think she's called Lily Designs, and I used her the first time round. Then she went missing, so I couldn't find her for Parker, but I've recently found her again for one of my friends that I've ordered a dummy clip for, because she's just had a baby. And there's also another one called Woodley something. Again, she's on Facebook, so I'll find her link and I'll attach all the links below to their websites. She is a little bit more expensive, but her designs are out of this world, and I used her this time around for Parker's ones, and I absolutely love them. They are so good until your baby has their dummies taken away and no longer uses them. So we used them up to the age of 8 months with Klayton, purely because that's when we no longer gave him a dummy. Parker, I don't know when we're going to stop using it, whenever it kind of suits and fits in with what we're doing. But yeah, 100% would recommend a dummy clip for not losing them, for them being efficient, and it saves you having that massive crying hissy fit when you can't find a dummy and you haven't brought a spare. Another item that I would highly recommend is a digital thermometer. We went out and purchased one of these after having so many sickness bumps and high temperatures and problems when Klayton was little. We invested in a thermometer that cost a little bit of money. We initially had the ones that you popped under their armpits, but Klayton, when he was a baby, would always have massive hissy fits and would make it really hard, especially when he was poorly, for us to take his temperature, because the last thing that a baby wants is to be prodded and poked. So we went out and we purchased a digital thermometer, and it's still going now. I think at the time it cost us around 20 to 30 pounds, and quite literally we saw the doctor using one and went out and got one. It's not one that goes in the ears, it's one that's an infrared one, and it basically, you point it to your head and it basically tells you the temperature. You literally press the button, it scans the temperature and takes the temperature, which we feel always measures really, really accurately for the boys' temperatures. I absolutely love it. It's enabled us, we can go and check in on the boys when they're fast asleep and they've been poorly. It enables us when they're ill to grab their temperature quickly without kind of them causing a fuss or getting more worked up. And I've even used it on myself as well when I've been poorly. So I would 100% recommend getting a good thermometer. Now I have a few other entertainment items, and I am going to be doing a more in-depth video for how to entertain a baby of this age and items that they might like. But one of the other things, or a couple of the other things that I would recommend for you are squeaky toys. A baby always loves a squeaky toy. A rattle is always really good, and Parker has loved a rattle, so did Klayton. It's just the noises, the delicate sounds they make that they really, really enjoy. And both the boys have always loved soft toys as well, so a soft toy comforter, or we have these little cube things as well that have little crinkly noises, and soft toys, they've always loved them as well. So I would definitely recommend, if you're looking for toys around that age range, they're the sort of toys that you want to look at and go and purchase. Something that has that colour stimulation on it, along with those soft noises, the crinkly, the squeaky, the rattly noises are really, really things that the kids around that age, or children around that age, really, really enjoy. And then my last item is another entertainment item, and I wanted to purchase this with Klayton desperately, but I purchased so many toys and items for him. He had way too much that I just couldn't afford and couldn't bring myself to buying it, because it was around 30, maybe even more pound than that at the time. However, we didn't have many items to pick up for Parker for Christmas, because a lot of Parker's stuff is being basically reused from Klayton. However, I decided that this time round I would purchase one as a new item for Parker, and it is the Beep Bop. Again, I believe it's Fisher Price, so there seem to be a lot of Fisher Price items that feature in my video, but that's because I love their products and their brands, and they just seem to do everything that works for my child and makes my life easy. But the Fisher Price Beep Bop is like a dance and move character, I think it's called. And it quite literally does that. It dances, it moves, it has bright colours, it sings, it allows you to talk to it, and it repeats stuff. It's a great learning tool for babies of that age, but it also entertains them so, so much. So I would definitely recommend, if you're looking for a toy to buy for a birthday or a present or something like that that you might want to look to buy for the future, I would definitely recommend picking up one of these, because they are absolutely amazing. And even my 3-year-old loves it, and he normally steals it off of my child, off of baby Parker. So I normally have to say to him, it's Parker's toy, you need to give it back and you need to share, you've got your own toys. But yeah, he absolutely loves it. Well guys, I hope you've enjoyed my video on items that I would recommend you having for the age range of 3 to 6 months. If you do have any questions or want any further information, then please don't forget to comment below, and I will always be here to answer any of your questions. If you did like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I have so many more videos coming up that are mummy and parenting related, along with cleaning and routines, and also a lot of self-development videos coming up soon as well. If you did like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you all again for another video shortly. Bye guys.